in entertainment, there's usually like a few folks who are doing really well, and then there's everybody else. So like you got A-list, and then you got literally like a million people like out of that who work sometime. Some people you ain't seen in 10 years, and all of a sudden they doing a Sprint commercial.
Hey neighbor,
try T-Mobile, it sets up so fast.
in serious speed.
And then you like, oh snap, I remember them. Like, they just they doing a toothpaste commercial or something like that. Great, okay, cool. So it get rough out here for some entertainers, right? It gets rough. So in any event, so that's leading me into the conversation, because what really kicked this off for me to think about kind of touching on this a little bit was everything going around about Gabrielle Union's clip about her and D Wade and how they split funds and that sort of thing. But before I get into much of that, I just want to play what Gabrielle Union said, and then we'll come back.
I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I going to have enough to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming, like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household, because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that is like, you better work, you better work. You sleep in? Somebody might not eat.
You better work. You better work. Somebody ain't gonna eat today. You better. It's funny, but I get what she's trying to say, because Gabrielle's been in the acting world for quite some time. I think she understands what it's like to have up and down seasons, where sometimes your phone is ringing multiple times a day, every day, and then other times in that industry, there's nothing. Probably like for months, sometimes for people years, somebody called, but it's nothing of note, right? There's a lot that goes on, right? Where, Viola Davis talks about this a lot, where she well, not a lot, but I've seen clips of her talking about how she has a career comparable to Meryl Streep and other folks of that ilk, but doesn't make anywhere near what they make. And I don't know how she knows that and all that, but I'm sure, the industry is a little small. I'm sure she has sources, right? If it's not the direct source, but I would say Black women of color and just people of color in entertainment, period, understand what it's like to be cycled in and out, and how difficult it is to maintain consistency in that field, right? So, we see a lot of the people who are on our screens all the time. And then also, just because you see people on your screen all the time does not mean that they're really getting that bag. Sometimes the money funny, the contract is sketchy. People don't come through. They don't always pay everything they're supposed to pay. Like, so, there's a lot of foolishness and untoward things in that industry, as there are in most industries, right? But that mindset probably comes from really understanding her environment, right? For the field that she's in. So, and then also just to think about this whole thing about they split the bills 50-50. Why is that I don't understand what the whole social media blitz was on that. What was the issue? Like, they have from what I could tell, if I remember correctly, they have a blended family, right? So, some of the younger kids are D-Wade's kids, not her kids. And they, like she said, they both have other households they support other than the direct household. So to keep all that stuff straight and clear, you just look, we worried about this house, and you pay your half, I pay my half, and everything else you ain't got to worry about me. I'm paying for my kids to do this or whatever, my ex-wife or whatever she got going on, court case, or if that's something that's coming back up or not, or your family that you help and support on this side, you ain't got, take care of that, I'm gonna take care of this or whatever. It's too much going on. Blended family, too much going on. And do y'all really think that if times get hard, they'll just be like, You better work. You better work. Gabrielle might say that to D-Wade. I'm assuming if one of them fall off to a certain extent because of whatever reason something is going on, that the other party is going to be there to help support. I just think that's more like a general understanding of things, right? Where just, you know, generally you handle you making X million, I'm making X million, I'm sitting on what I'm sitting on. Let me, you know, I do mine, you handle yours. Let's keep that straight, keep it simple, and probably keeps down on a lot of arguments. Because if you paying for having to support your family out of your side of things and you still covering your half of the bills in this house, I don't know that I have too many complaints. But when you start spending my money on whoever in the third party who over there sitting around not doing nothing, it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be, so you wanna argue. Yeah, we it's gonna be some arguments in this house. You mad? I'm gonna be big mad. So, no, I'm just saying. All right, okay. So I didn't get why that was a big deal. So I'm not even gonna, like, whatever. Like, if it works for them, it works for them, and that's cool. It probably keeps down a lot of the mess that could come up, because a lot of relationships break up over financial issues and stuff like that. So as long as they both handling their own things, then cool.
I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles. Said I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. Putting on for my city like OAG.